What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Brutal Planet Comics. I'm your host, Dre the Brute Daniels. Welcome to an episode of the Indie Corner, where I sit down with everybody from the independent community. Writers, artists, directors, producers, doesn't matter if you're in the game. I want to talk to you. So once again, we have ourselves another fantastic guest. He is the host of the YouTube channel OBG7. He is also one of the knights of the round table. Give it up, everybody, for Mike.
Hey, what's up? That was a great intro. I'm going to clip that, and that's going to be my intro of my channel going forward.
You have my explicit permission, my friend.
Excellent.
So what is going on, my friend? How are you doing today?
Just busy. Got, streams almost every single day somewhere. Got to prepare for it. So tonight we're doing some Asian cinema. This is from Malaysia, a show called The Ghost Bride. I'm talking about that with Jed the Hollywood Scholar, who you've also, I believe, have done an interview with.
Absolutely.
And of course, someone you don't know, but her name is Alexis. She's a writer, and she's made some movies. She's actually been she just did one recently in LA. They did a rooftop movie for like whatever called the indie stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so she's going to be doing that, or she actually has done that. It's waiting for it to be finished. And so we talk about all this stuff every Monday night. Have a great time.
That is awesome. It's funny that I was in New York maybe 2 weeks ago, and I just went past like this indie theater, and me and my wife, we were looking, and we were like, hey, should we pop up in here, check out a few little nitbits? I was like, I'm trying to get out of this city. I'm trying to go home. I gotta get out of here. But that's great, man. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with that. So Mike, you've been running your channel for a little bit of time now, but before we get into all the great stuff that you're over there producing and all that other great stuff, let's get to know you a little bit. Who are you? Sure. Where'd you come from? How do we get here?
Well, Jay, I was born a poor white child in the barrio, the Mexican barrio here in Southern California. Rode my, the bicycles back in the day, you could go to Kmart to get them, and I had the chopper with the flames down the side, the long forks.
Yeah.
Immediately put the headlight on it, and it had the little generator thing that you kick with your foot, and it would go up against the back tire, and it would spin and generate electricity, and the light would come on, and I drove that thing all over the place. But it was in Southern California here, and I think it was I was 9 years old when my dad came to us and said, you know what, I bought some property, and we're gonna move out to a more rural area. And I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna go out to what? We're gonna go out to Utah. We're gonna go out. Where are we going? Where are we gonna? Someplace 5 miles away. So we went out, we had 5 acres. We immediately started raising, pigs and chickens and ducks, and we had some pheasants. We had horses, lots of horses, goats, cows. We did all that. And it's a little hobby farm, and it was great. We grow our own vegetables, and we have all that going. It was so much fun. And loved horses. Horses were my passion. And my dad had my parents had a thoroughbred at some point. That didn't last very long, but they would have whatever weekends they would go to the races. A lot of races in Mexico. But eventually I discovered motorcycles, and I found out motorcycles are a lot more fun than horses. So that pretty much ended my love with horses, and then it was motorcycles. And in the summers, I would work with my dad. He had a auto collision shop. It's his own personal business, his private company. And I would go down there on the weekends. I'd go down there during the summers. I would always hang out with him doing that. And I took over the business when he passed away and ran it up. Got it going pretty well. And then sold it. Said, I'm done. It was not something I really wanted to do. I think I was just like hanging out with my dad. So when he passed, I was like, I really don't want to be here, So ended up selling it, retiring. My wife, a school teacher, she makes enough money for us. Everything's paid for. Like our house is paid for. Cars are all paid for. All we have is property taxes and insurance. And as far as medical and all that, it comes through her work as a teacher. So I'm like, do I need to keep doing this? And she said, God, no, please. We need to get out of this. This is a horrible situation. I said, absolutely. So we sold it. And then I became a stay-at-home dad. I have 2 kids, 16 and 13. But at the time, of course, preschool was like preschool age. And I was the Mr. Mom. I would drive them to school, pick them up, take them to the dentist appointments, take them to doctor's appointments, take them all wherever I needed to go, the play dates and all that stuff. Had a great time. And now we've arrived at a time where my oldest now drives. and I don't have any duties. I need to start a job. I need to become a Walmart greeter or something, or maybe work at Home Depot bagging stuff. I don't know. I don't have anything to do now other than YouTube.
Wow. That's a really cool journey. I'm gonna rewind just a touch. So like, did your family just strictly raise horses, or did they just race them?
No, we didn't raise them. We just had them because when you have, it was a pretty rural area. I mean, I think we were like the first house built within probably an 8-mile radius. Like it was like nothing out there, but then it was being developed. So like other people, it was all private homes.
Okay.
There was no like tract homes and that kind of a thing until recently, like maybe 10, 15 years ago, that started happening. And now it's all built out. Now you wouldn't recognize it. It's all, we live in the same area. My wife and I do, not of course in the same house, but now we're in a different area. We live in a tract. We live in a community.
Okay.
But it's all been built out. But the horses were just to have horses. There was lots of property to go ride around on, mountains in all directions, and you just horse trails everywhere.
Okay, so for an inner city kid like myself that was coming up, that is unheard of, obviously.
Right.
So the horses were your pets, more or less, kind of?
I guess, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they were just more utility. They were just see, the thing about horses, Dre, is they sit in the corral or they sit in the barn or whatever, and they're just there. You feed them, you brush them, you clean up after them. 99% of the time, you leave them alone. They all hang out together. They're all friends or whatever. They hang out. They have their own company. And it's only when you're like, hey, you know what? It's a nice, cool Saturday. Let's go for a ride. Then you remember, oh, I have horses.
Oh,
let's go get the horses. Okay. So it's like that. And that's why I'm saying the motorcycle, when I got to the motorcycle era, that was all gone. It was like, okay, is the 55-gallon drum of gasoline filled? Okay, let me pump some gas into my motorcycle. And then it was a whole week, with my friends riding motorcycles, causing trouble, kicking up dust. Nice. Neighbors coming out, stop that! You're kicking up too much dust, and that was probably the majority of the time. But yeah, it was rural area. You got to have a little barn and corral and horses, and we did raise the pigs for food. We did raise cows for food.
Oh, okay. Chickens, so you had a farm.
Yeah, it was 5 acres is quite a bit of land there. So yeah, and plus the neighbors on both sides, or the property on both sides was empty. No one had built yet. So technically, we could say there's like 15 acres. Because there was nothing over there and there was no fence, and so your horses would be over there sometimes or over there sometimes, and
wow, okay,
but it was fun.
You had like a whole farm thing,
a whole farm set up. Okay. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Zucchinis that were like 2 hands to pick them up. The Texas watermelons, the big Texas watermelons. Please help me lift this watermelon was a common thing. It was huge.
Mike, you a farm boy.
Farm boy, yeah. Well, I honestly wish I could say that was really true, because I like that lifestyle. I'm very envious of people who live like in middle America. They live on 800 acres of land or something, and they have a real farm. I would love to do that, Dre. I would end it all in a minute just to go out there. I would just pack up. Let's go. But I have to wait.
Yeah.
I have to wait.
Got the youngins.
My kids got to get out of high school, and then I can leave. As soon as my last one graduates, she's gonna walk out. She's gonna get into the U-Haul, and we're headed east. We're getting out of here.
That's cool, man. That's a dope origin story. I like that. That's awesome. So okay, so do you still ride the motorcycles though? Or are you done with that?
No, I'm too. I had one maybe. Time 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I had one that it was a street legal dirt bike, so I was able to drive it on the streets and all the trails and stuff. But I didn't have anyone to ride with because I hadn't met anyone in the area, so it was always just me going out solo. And I started dawn on me, like, if I crash and get hurt up here in some of these trails, like, no one's gonna know I'm up here.
Yeah.
So I kind of like got some sense. I still have my motorcycle jacket in the closet over there, but I was like, you know what? This doesn't make sense. So I sold it. I figured I'd just buy it back. So, at this point, no motorcycles. Okay. Now it's telescopes and old vintage computers.
Okay. I come from an IT background myself. I used to be a hardware consultant for many years.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. I do miss like the first job, like my first hardware consultant job. It was like when I was still in college, and I worked this job. It was a small mom and pop hardware shop, and it was great. Now I'm out of focus. Look at it. not I'm out of focus, whatever. Small mom and pop shop called American Computer Resources over here in DC, and I loved that job. But then we had the economy went down, blah 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 blah. Company ended up shutting down, and I ended up working for the pretty much federal government as a contractor for IT. Oh, I don't miss those days at all. But yeah,
Doesn't sound fun.
it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. It really sucked the love I had for like computer stuff. Really sucked it dry out of me. And I did that for years. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to applications and whatever. I'm like, whatever, just pay my bills, whatever. But yeah, but no, I got you, bro. But that's cool, man. That's really dope. That's
Yeah,
really dope.
modern computers I'm not happy to play with. I built a gaming PC and it's been probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old now. It was back whenever mine is the 1070.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
that's been a while, and I couldn't afford the 1080. And then, of course, now they're in the 30s. So I've already gone through all the 20s. Now we're in the 30s. So I'm way behind on that. I'm way behind. I had to get an Xbox in order to have like a good graphics chip in it, so that I can actually have some 4K gaming. But no, it's mostly, and I don't have ability to show you, but it's actually in the other room. I have all the old 80s stuff. I have the Apples and Commodores, Ataris.
Wow.
I have some old IBM compatibles. I used to have an IBM 5170 for a while, but I got rid of that. It was just so heavy I couldn't move it.
That thing's worth weighs a ton.
Yeah,
It's kind of like mine. I have a HP Z800 right here. That's what I call it, my monster and my tank. It is literally it's what I'm running things on right now. It is literally I can't even fit in the frame how big it is. It is literally about 70 pounds. And like,
does it have the steel case?
You better believe it does.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, it was a repurpose. I repurposed it. It was a server computer, but I repurposed to do whatever I want now, and it still purrs like a kitten. Granted, that power supply is literally this big.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and they're fun to work on. They're fun to, like, if you get one at a garage sale or something, or Craigslist or something, you go out and pick it up, and they say, "Oh, I don't know why it doesn't work," and then you kind of tinker around, bring it back to life. You're excited. You're like, "Yes, I've salvaged this. It's not going to the landfill."
Yeah,
and that's how I feel. So I have, my wife would kill me, but I mean, I have the whole one side of the garage filled with all of this old stuff, and I go out there and tinker with it, and I have to kick boxes around and kind of, navigate wormhole my way to my chair and on my desk and clean it up, and then I'll work on some stuff like that. But yeah, I have way too much. But like old Apples that I see in high school, it was all Apple IIs, because Apple would, they'd provide a discount to all the schools for their Apple computers. Yeah. So that's what I remember, and so that's my passion. I love Apple computers.
It's dope. That's really dope. But that's cool. So so you end up selling the your dad's shop.
Right. I was there probably 10 more years.
Okay.
So it was a while.
After Dad had passed, you still held on for 10 years? Yeah. Okay. And okay, so then you end up selling the business, and now you decide to, hey, I'm gonna just raise the kids, which is great, which is phenomenal. I think for me personally, I think that's amazing. Like I honestly, I wish in some cases my father did that, but but everybody has different different situations in life and stuff. So you sold the business, you're raising the youngins. What made you want to start doing YouTube content in between there somewhere?
Well, sure. Okay, so I mentioned briefly a few minutes ago about astronomy or telescopes and stuff. So I think it was when my mother had passed away, I inherited a pickup truck that I had no use for. And it was a rather new Toyota pickup truck. And I sold it to one of my family members, and I used that I had that money, and my wife saying, you should do something really nice for yourself with that money. I thought, like, what, And it was right around Christmas time, and my oldest daughter had received one of those cheapy Walmart telescopes, like they're really inexpensive, like $30, $40 telescopes. She had gotten one, and that just set off a bell. I'm like, you know what? That's what I should be getting. I should be getting a telescope, because I've always loved astronomy. And so I purchased one and started learning how to use it, joined some forums, learned about it. But then I thought, you know what? I need to start a YouTube channel and talk about this stuff. So I have another YouTube channel. It's called The Broke Astronomer. And I would learn a piece of software, for example, on how to control a telescope remotely. I would learn all about it. And then I'd make a video explaining to other people, like, this is how you use it. This is how you set it up. This is what all these settings do.
Oh, so this isn't no ordinary telescope. This is
No,
like
no, no, no.
scientific type, like a scientific telescope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if we're doing screen shares and stuff. I could try to dig something up, but yeah, it's huge. And I was getting traction on my YouTube channel. People were coming in. They're like, "Oh yeah, I love this." And some of my videos would have 50 or 60,000 views.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
going, "Whoa, yeah, that was getting." And I think at one point I was at 1,500 subscribers and growing. And then one night I was broadcasting live. I was doing like a live stream of what my telescope was looking at, but in the background I had hit my light over.
Uh-oh.
The background I had some music, and it was like this, very ambient, no drums, no singing, just kind of whatever pretty music, and it was really low volume in the background. But YouTube's algorithm picked it up, and the European license holder, whatever, hit me with a hard strike, took my live stream down, and YouTube suspended my live streams for 4 months.
Wow.
And at that point, I was so pissed off that I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. So I deleted all my videos, walked away from the channel, didn't do anything. Well, and then I had the hankering to do something else. So OBG70 stands for Old Broke Gamer, and then 1970 because that was my birthday. So I was doing live streams of games for a while. I was testing the waters. I was trying to do the same thing that people do on Twitch, but I was doing it on YouTube. I was doing World of Warcraft streams. I was doing, I don't know, a bunch of different little games, little independent games and stuff. And nothing ever happened on that. It was, I had, I think, 39 subscribers at the time, nothing big deal. And kind of abandoned that as well, kind of got out of that. And went did other things with my life. And then, this maybe peripherally, but me and Adam and several others, we met each other through a common hate group. We wanted to hate on Wheel of Time, which is a book series by Robert Jordan. When we found out Amazon Prime was going to make it, initially you think, okay, that'd be cool. They have a lot of money. And then you find out who they're assigning to the project, and then your heart just sinks, you're crushed, you're upset. And so we all started making videos about each of the episodes, and we kind of met each other. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I need to make these videos. And so I need a channel to put it on. What channel can I do? And I just looked over at my OBG Old Broke Gamer channel, and I thought, I only have 39 viewers or subscribers on that. That's a channel I can just adapt. So that's what I did. And I started making the videos regarding the Wheel of Time series. And I think it took off within like a month. I had 300 plus subscribers, and then the show was gone. And then I've been just kind of fighting it and just grinding it out. Now I think this morning I'm at 480, so I'm getting close to 500. Then I can unlock community subs and all that, so that'll be fun to do. But that's all I do. And every once in a while, I'll do a video about something that I'm really passionate about. Sometimes I'll just do a live stream. And I then decided, I'm going to start doing a regularly scheduled live stream. So Mondays, I do the thing I talked about earlier, the Asian stuff. Wednesdays, I have an Advanced Dungeons and Dragons stream. And then Thursdays, I have Stargate SG-1 stream. And then Fridays, I have, well, I'm changing it now, but it was my After Dark show, which it was a super late, way past your bedtime, Jay.
Oh, yeah.
It was, I think I started it usually at 9, but I think last time I did it 8:30 or something, my time, which would be like midnight or 11:30 your time. And talking about fantasy, talking about Legend of the Seeker, talking about the Chronicles of Shannara, talking about, whatever comes up. Last time we talked about Rings of Power, House of the Dragon, Red Sonja. We talked about a bunch of stuff like that. So, and that's what I've been doing. And that'll expand out. But that means also time.
Yeah.
Time. It's sometimes I think to myself, give me an excuse. Dre, give me an excuse to just pull the plug. Pull the plug. Just stop.
But Mike, you actually
read
bring
a
up,
book.
you actually bring up a good point, because I have a secondary question, but my main question I want to be like, because you still got your two babies. I know they're not babies anymore, but like you're still raising two kids, and you got all these different streams, your wife and all that other stuff. How are you balancing your time? Like how is that working for you?
Let me explain. I have that woman that everybody wants. I have the wife that is legitimately supportive of me getting out of the house and locked in my office so she doesn't have to look at me. So she's very supportive. Do you have any live streams today? Can I get you dinner before? Do you want me to have dinner ready for you after? It's none of this like rolls eyes. Oh, another live stream, seriously. It's not that. She's like, I will work my schedule around you doing a live stream. So for an example, to answer your question here, I was a part of a brand new live stream, but not on my channel. I was a co-host with somebody else. It started to get bigger. The demands of my time started to increase. The demands on how much enjoyment I was going to get out of it started to increase. I found myself not having a good time. Okay. And on the back end, I was having to take my daughter to swim meet. So she's in the high school swim team. So I was having to, on certain days, say I can't make it. I have to take her to do these things, and all that compounded where I have to make a decision, because then my wife was started to do. I have to take I'll take a half day. I'll take a half day, so you don't have to pick up the younger girl. Mm-hmm. I'll go pick her up. You take the older to do this. Oh, never mind. Actually, I talked to so-and-so second cousin's next door neighbor who will come and pick up the oldest one and take her. So now you're cool. You could do your live stream. And I'm thinking, no. Family obligations, 100% priority. This BS on YouTube, not a priority. This is a hobby. So I quit the thing, started some drama with that, because it was like, you quit our group. I'm like, no, too bad. So sad. This is more important. And that's what I mean. But look at the sacrifices she was starting to make. Yeah. Just so I could sit here and chat with people. And it's like, no, I gotta get out. I'm done. So as long as it doesn't conflict with my my personal life, I can do it. But she'll say, well, do you have something going on such a day? My answer is no, I don't. Even if I really do, it's like, no, I will cancel, stop, not do whatever that is to do what she needs me to do, because I'm just sitting here having fun doing a hobby.
Yeah.
And I'm spending money on this hobby. I'm buying lights and microphones and all the stuff I'm buying. I mean, she's sitting there looking at the PayPal every month going, damn, what are you buying? Yeah. Like, well, more stuff, or Amazon bill. And it's just all for having fun. And having the fun doing this should never take precedence over, if I almost said her name, but oldest daughter needs to be driven to her dentist appointment. I can have so-and-so do it if you have a live stream. It's like, no, that's not the right answer. The right answer is I'm taking her, because that's my responsibility as a dad. The rest of the stuff is not important. So, but that's why I can do it.
Okay.
Because I have support. I have the support.
What you're saying makes sense, and that resonates with me big time. Like you, I have a very supportive wife as well. She's
so you have the other one.
Yeah.
I know there's two of them out there.
There's two of them out there. I got the other one. That's right. There's always two sides of that coin. And I got the other one. Like, my wife is very supportive of, like, because I'm elbow deep in all types of projects. Like, YouTube is one thing. I've been producing comic books for years. Yeah. I've been doing cons. I've been, all types of stuff that I've been doing over the years. And she always is like, hey, are you doing something this day, whatever? And over the years, I've made it my business, like you, to be like, hey, tell me what you need me to do, Miss Lady. Tell me what you need to do. What business we need to handle? Because, like you said, like this stuff is important to me. Make no mistake, but you are more important. Yeah, my family, you're more.
You gotta have that attitude. You gotta have it. Yeah,
exactly. Because like
and they need to know. They need to know that you're willing. Like, not willing, but like it's a given. It's a no argument given that you will set this stuff aside to be there for whatever it is that you're supposed to be there. You're not shirking. You're not going, can you please handle that? Or, oh my God, could you call this person to do it instead? It's like, no, I want to be that primary person, because
and I agree with that 110%, because there's a lot of us in the media sphere that lose sight of that. They lose sight of, oh, I've got to do this. Like, oh, family, we'll work it out somehow. Well, I gotta get this done. Like, no, but and that's a mentality that unfortunately I came up with growing up. There was a lot of that mentality in my communities and stuff like that. It's like business over everything. That's always business or whatever over everything. That's always been a thing. And I've seen the dark side of that. I've seen the dark side of...
You don't want your kids growing up to say, my dad wasn't there, he was streaming on YouTube, or he was at a convention, or he was doing that. You don't,
Exactly.
I don't want to make the bad joke, but it's like certain girls, their dads never went to their recitals,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so
Mm-hmm.
you're like, you know, you don't want that to happen,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
you gotta at least have that memory, like where they know, yeah, my dad was always there,
Yeah.
or my husband was always there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not there, then maybe the plumber's there.
Hello, somebody else.
Maybe-
Somebody gonna fill that void in more
Yep.
ways than one, if you know what I
Mhm.
am saying.
I
So,
do.
and so it's really important, and the fact that you are able to, understand and live that is really huge. Because there's so many that don't. But but that's really good, man. That's really good. Now, and I'm sure that your family appreciates that you're there. Believe me.
Yeah.
They're down with that. But that's dope. So tell me, Mike, with your channel and all the stuff that you're doing with media and a lot of fantasy, or were you like your origins a bit with into fantasy? They were like when you coming up, were you into like reading a lot of fantasy books and a lot of stuff like that?
You know, I was trying to think about this the other day. Where did I think it was high school.
Okay.
I think that's probably about the time that it was. And I want to say that I would spend a lot of time during lunchtime. Because in Southern California, it gets really hot or really cold in the winter. So I would spend a lot of time in the library where the climate control was working. And my friends and I would all play around in there. And I would just, kind of look over my shoulder at the shelf of books. And I think I'll grab one and read it while I'm sitting here. And I don't know if it was maybe The Hobbit or something I had heard about, or if it was some sort of fantasy, but that started this snowball, and it just got bigger and bigger as my life continued, where by the time I got to college, I went to a local school. I would drive home, or I would drive to work with my dad after my classes were ending for the day. So I'd take the morning classes or whatever, and then I would be done and I would drive home, and I lived at home during college. So all that was pretty convenient. But
Nice.
on the way home, I would hit like the Crown books, the B. Dalton books, and the Walden books, which are all the chains from back then. And I would pick out some like book one fantasy off the shelf, and I would see if I liked that series. And so I'd always have a bunch of book ones, because a lot of times I didn't like the series, and so I didn't buy a book two. But if I did like the series, it was like every day, Dre. I would be reading almost at stop signs, I would get to work, and it was lunchtime because I would stop and get it on the way. I would read for like about an hour, put the book away. As soon as work was over, head home, read all night. Not doing very well in school because I was too busy reading it's like there's the book right there. I could just reach. It's really difficult to get work done. But I would consume a book a day.
Okay.
So every day, going back, get another book, go back, get another book. And I would just devour fantasy and science fiction of every kind. Had some favorites. Obviously, Wheel of Time. Robert E. Howard, who did the Conan stuff, was always a favorite. Larry Niven, when we get into science fiction. Orson Scott Card, all of them. Just loved science fiction and fantasy, as you can see here. And I'm so happy to be
Gotta
able to
rock
do
the
like
fitted
that.
now.
Yeah, well, I have a better habit. It wasn't going to be better for this show, so. But just consumed it, and then all the 80s fantasy shows that were around back then, and even in the 90s and stuff too. Although, like I said, the Conan stuff and
Like Dark Crystal and
Dark Crystal, the Labyrinth with Jennifer Connelly and David Bowie. Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah, I love that too. It's like every fantasy show ever. I just loved them all. And I don't know, even like later on, and I don't know if it's the 2000s when you had Hercules, Legendary Journey, and Xena, and all that. Just consumed it all. I just loved it.
That was like I think mid 90s, like 2000s. I think was Hercules,
Possibly.
Xena, and I think there was another one. I think Beastmaster.
Oh, the Beast! Oh, awesome! Yes, he had the little ferret. Guy
and I think the golden eagle, and he would connect with the eye. And
Yep.
It was,
loved all that.
Yeah.
Going back now, it's horrible, but it was so good.
Like it's dripping with cheese, but
Deathstalker movies, the Deathstalker movies, they're really bad. They're almost, I would say rated NC-17. Almost like, well, we're too good to do adult content, so we're gonna make it for television, but barely.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. But Yeah, that's been my genre forever.
That's
a little bit of
cool.
horror, a little bit of horror stuff, like all the old stuff with like Friday the 13th and Halloween and Freddy Krueger and all that. Those were good too. I go to the theaters and yell at the theaters. I was with a group of friends and it would cause all kinds of problems in the theaters, yelling and screaming. And, yeah, kill him. Yeah. But,
I miss those days. I miss the whole days.
No, we don't get movies like that anymore, Trey.
Yeah.
We just don't.
Nothing to get your engine fired up like that anymore. No way. No, everything is safe now.
And honestly, I don't go to the movies anymore. I stay home.
You're not missing anything.
No. Well, the thing is, so you think about it, right? We all had this regular 4x3 televisions, the tube TVs, and you had the TV speaker. And if you were really, really wealthy, you had the Denon or whatever, the RCA,
RCA
stereo system with the walnut grain looking speakers and whatever, and they were on the sides, and that was your like stereo, and you're like, whoa, this movie's great. But it wasn't like the theater. But now, I mean, I have a Yamaha system out there. I got a OLED TV, so it's got the real blacks and it's like super sharp. I got the real Atmos surround sound, which bounces off the ceiling and does all that crap.
Yeah, you don't need to go.
I don't need to go. And I'm not even set up the way that like so many people are. Like I feel almost embarrassed to tell people what I have, because the other people that I know, they're like, oh, I got a theater room. I got a sloped floor with like leather reclining chairs and all, and I'm like, okay, that's all great. That's a pipe dream for me. I can never get there.
Yeah.
But or with a projector and all that. And I'm like, okay, I'll never have that. But what I have is better than my experience if I go to the movies.
Yep.
I don't have people behind me talking and kicking the seat. There's no gum on the floor. The seat's not squishy, and it's
no kids crying.
I could pause and then go to the restroom. So all of that is better. So why would I go? And so I don't. I went to see Maverick.
Okay, well that was a viewing experience. So
well, my wife is a huge Top Gun fan.
Oh, yeah.
And so I said, are you going to go see it? Are you going to go with your friends? Well, how that's going to happen? And it was her birthday. And I said, you haven't seen this yet. Do you really want to wait possibly months longer for it to come out on Blu-ray? Or do you want to go see it? And she said, let's go see it. So she had a good time. And it was, by then it had been out several weeks. And so the theater during the 11 o'clock showing wasn't very busy. And so we were pretty much alone in the theater. It was good.
Yeah. And I went to the movies to see that. Me and my cousin, we used to be huge movie buffs when we were coming up. Big time, huge. We would see everything. Even if it was trash, we would still see everything, because
I've only ever walked out of one movie. It was Barbed Wire with whatever her face was, Pamela Anderson.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was awful.
Oh.
Me and our friends sat in there, and we both kind of looked at each other and went, let's get out.
Oh my, I forgot.
But everything else, it's very difficult to walk out of a movie for me. I'm with you. I would watch everything. But go ahead, please continue.
Yeah, no, but even now, even still, like once in a while, there'll be a movie that we know is gonna be good, or something that we know might give us, like, this is gonna be really fun. And he hit me up and said, hey, let's go see Maverick. I said, yeah, I liked Top Gun when I was a kid. Let's do it.
Need for Speed.
Yeah, and it was great. We went to go see it in IMAX. The sound, for that, the sound was perfect, because you need to hear the roar of the engines and all that. Like it was a viewing experience, which is extremely rare. Which is why that movie is still making money.
I wouldn't mind seeing, if a group of friends said, "Hey, we're going to go see Maverick again." I'd say, "Sure, let's go do it."
It's a fun movie.
Problem. Yeah,
it's fun. And I really enjoyed it. And so like certain movies like that, I'll definitely go see in theaters. And like special movie events, like the Dragon Ball movie just came out like a week ago. Me and my cousin, we went to go see it. Had a great time. It was a really fun movie. It was really fun.
Yeah, that's something I never got into, was the Dragon Ball stuff. So it's not on my radar. But
but it was a lot of fun. Like if you were like those type of films are more niche, more niche film, because like you'll have to be a fan of the franchise to actually want to see the movie. Like if you were not a fan, I don't think you would enjoy the film. I don't think you'd enjoy it, because it's a lot of callbacks to old shows and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, did they do it justice? Are you happy with what they did? Okay,
I enjoyed it very much. Like what they,
because there's a very real risk. Everything made now, they destroy it. They inject too much politics into it. They have some agenda they're doing, and it has nothing to do with what the original IP, what they were intending originally. So you remember, you have good memories of what it used to be, and you go, oh, they're going to make a movie. Let's go check it out. And then it's just not anything like what you wanted.
This is what I'll give Toei Animation. Toei Animation, they usually try to avoid all of the woke nonsense. So 9 times out of 10, they don't make films very often because they usually focus on like manga and cartoons and stuff.
Sure.
But the last, I guess they made 3 movies. I think it was Resurrection of F, the Broly movie, and Superhero, and they're just fun films. And I think to me, like, is it high art? No, not at all. But I enjoyed myself. Like, I had fun. Like, I was able to turn my brain off and just be like, oh my god, I remember that. Oh my god, look how fun that is. Like oh my god, the colors. You know, like hey, I'm having fun. But there's no politics beating you across the head or trying to teach you a life lesson. This joint ain't about nothing except, hey, you want to see Dragon Ball stuff? Yes, I do. Here's an hour and a half of it. Excellent. Thank you so very much.
Great.
Yeah.
Dre, what was your first anime?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Or maybe I should ask a different question. Like, what was the one that made you say, "Oh, I like this stuff"?
Okay. The one that made me like open my eyes to it was Voltron.
Oh, there you go.
I'll say Voltron was my first anime that got me, because I was always into kaiju stuff. Because my aunt's a huge Godzilla fan. So we used to watch all the Godzilla movies. Anything that did with giant kaiju, I was in. And so, because anime didn't come really to the States until like the 80s and stuff, and didn't really get popular till the 90s anyway. So, so I laid my eyes on Voltron. I was like, hey, giant kaiju robot. I'm in. Because when I was a kid, I used to love, I don't know how much you're into Godzilla movies, but there used to be...
well, I got a Mothra over there on my thing, and I have... Well, hold on a second. Do you mind if I...
Sure.
Yeah, one second. See if I can find it. So I have this steel book of Mothra.
Dope.
And this is my Godzilla.
All right. That's dope.
And it's got the let's see if I can figure out how to get it out of here. I haven't opened it yet, but it slides out this way. So when you open it up, it's got this pop-up here.
Oh, that's freaking sweet. Oh, that's dope. I love a good pop-up.
So yeah, and I started the idea of having, another stream, Dre, another stream. Where I was going to cover this kind of stuff. I was going to do all the old Godzilla stuff, and as well as horror as well. So it's horror and monsters. And I have a trailer for it. I was starting to gather people together, try to do a panel. That didn't work out. So it never saw the light of day, but I was going to do the same as I do Sci-Fi and Fantasy Saturdays, where me and Adam were talking about sci-fi and fantasy. I was going to do monsters and horror.
Oh, wow. That would have been a cool idea. Yeah. But I was into, there was a character in Godzilla called Jet Jaguar. He looks like a giant 10 robot man that did martial arts, pretty much.
Right. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah. And then the Japanese did a spinoff called Ultraman later on. And did pretty much the same thing, except it was its own side story, whatever. But Jet Jaguar, he can increase his size, shorten his size, and whatever. But I was like, oh my god, he's so cool. I kind of
remember that.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, he's so cool. And so when I started watching Voltron, because like that's when it came to, I guess, Toonami at the time, when Toonami got started. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. Like, I like giant robots. And I started watching Voltron. Then I started watching Gundam Wing. And then then of course, Dragon Ball. And then that just stole my heart. I was like, oh my god, this is cool. Like all the cool energy beams, punches, and all that stuff. I was into it.
Yeah.
And then I started trying to get into more niche ones that were niche at the time, like Ghost in the Shell.
Right. Yeah.
But at the time, now they're mainstream now. But Ghost in the Shell. Kinnikuman Legacy, which in English I think is Ultimate Muscle. I guess. Yeah, Ultimate Muscle. I was getting into those. I just started just dipping my toe in all types of anime, and I was like, hey, I really enjoy this medium. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. But then at the same time, we were still at the same time competing for my heart for American animation, which at the time we had Batman the Animated Series.
Sure,
and,
yeah.
Hall of Fame stuff was happening at the time. So anime, as much as I loved it, was still on a back burner to the ones that were legendary. Now I'm starting to try to get back into anime now. Other than like classics, like Inuyasha or the Big O, like classic stuff. I'll still watch like if it's on or whatever. It's Crunchyroll or something. I'll watch. But there's nothing I'm really following that's mainstream. A lot of my buddies have been watching My Hero for a number of years now.
Yeah.
And I've tried to get into it, but I don't know. I don't think the quirk thing just didn't resonate with me that much.
Sure. Yeah.
But
I've completed
it's a fun show.
but it wasn't. It's not on my favorite list.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, hey, the quirk idea is okay, but I didn't really follow it as much.
It's like what's that really super popular one that everyone, if you talk to anyone about anime, they go, "Oh, you've heard of this?" Oh God, what's it called?
There's One Punch Man. There's
One Punch Man is one I actually covered recently.
Attack on Titan is still pretty big.
It's the big one. It's just out of my mind.
Yeah,
I brain farted. It's the one with a kid who wants to be a pirate. One Piece. One Piece.
One Piece. One Piece are around for too long.
I can't get into it.
Yeah, don't waste your time. You're 20 years too late, Mike. It's too late.
Yeah. I tried it. Everyone talks about it. I sat down, tried to watch it, made it episode 2.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, it's not even worth it.
My story is Voltron, right? But that wasn't the one that got me into it. Like I liked it. Voltron was awesome. I had the toy and all that. It was Robotech.
Okay.
Robotech was on regular TV for me. I think Channel 13 or Channel 11. I can't remember. I would rush home from school and put a VHS tape in there and try to get fast forward to the end of the last one and get ready and go like, okay, here it comes, record. And then I'd record it and then I'd watch it and go. And then when my brother would get home, then I'd say, okay, it's already recorded for you. Then he can watch it. And we wore out so many VHS.
I can only imagine.
Loved it. It was brilliant. I was going, what is this stuff? Because it was telling a beautiful story. Had all these actors. The girls are pretty. The guys were, good looking and athletic. And they were flying these airplanes that could turn into robots. And they were, this story, it was amazing. Yeah. And still my all-time favorite.
Yeah, Robotech is pretty good.
I just love it. Macross, it's the Macross was the original. Robotech was the adaptation. I like Macross too, but
yeah, it's really good
that's
stuff.
what got me. Then Akira's
a great film.
Yeah, Fist of the North Star.
Oh, Fist of the North Star. Good fight.
Yep.
Really good.
Vampire Hunter D.
It's really good
Vampire
stuff.
Hunter D. Stuff like that. That was kind of where I started going with that. And then a drought of anime for such a long time. Didn't do it. Was gone.
I don't.
5 years ago, picked it back up. So I'm catching up. I'm watching all the ones that people say are trendy, trying them out, see what I like, what I don't like.
Yeah. And like one that I really enjoyed that was relatively new, I guess, is Attack on Titan. Because like it was a unique idea. It was a unique idea about the it's post-apocalyptic, more or less.
Yeah.
But the idea was really unique about these giant monsters that are man-eating and all that other stuff, and now the wall has fallen and there's like a survival horror, and it's like and like all is lost, and like and you get invested in these characters, but you got to be careful not to get invested in them because they'll be eaten like the next episode. So I'm like,
I'm like, don't mess around.
I'm like, holy crap! I'm like, yo, I like that guy. He got a lot of screen time, and now he's halfway through this thing's tummy. I'm like, holy crap! This is nuts.
Well, yeah, the farthest I've gotten now, and we find out one of the principal characters could control it, or he would do something where he could be part of it, or maybe he was a mutant or something.
Yeah, so the main character...
And that's as far as I got.
Yeah, the main character is Eren Yeager, if memory serves me right. Eren Yeager. And he apparently was experimented on as a kid by his father, and he can transform into the Titans. And so as the mystery kind of goes on, it is revealed that all of the Titans are people. And it's like, I'm just like, wait, what? They're all people? I'm like, this is crazy. And so like though things started going like that way, but then to me it got muddled in. Like the first season, I think was really top notch, but then the second season felt like a filler season. It really felt like filler because I was like, hey, I want, because it's all about finding this mystery basement thing, and because like oh, that's where all the secrets are, and it's deep into Titan territory. So now the stakes are high because like yo, we gotta get to this basement thing so we can unlock the key to their power or whatever. But then it just take off on this side quest for like an entire season, and I'm just like, bruh, I'm interested in the basement, bruh. Get back to that. And then they kind of got back on course, but it kind of lost me a little bit. But I gotta go back and finish. I think the show is done now, so I can go back and binge the whole thing from start to finish.
So when you're watching an anime and the anime part of it runs out, but it was based on a manga, do you go and buy the manga and then see where it goes so that you don't have to wait?
I usually don't. Okay, like so I'm still. I mean, last year I actually started getting into manga because for many years I've been a traditional American comics guy. So last year I started getting into manga, but I'm still dabbling in the ones that I like thoroughly enjoy. And like I know that there's some that I'll still catch up on early. Like if it's Dragon Ball, fine. I'll read the manga for Dragon Ball because I'm not really trying to watch the whole shows anymore for Dragon Ball because I think the show's quality has done a lot of this. So I'll do the manga for that. But like certain shows, I won't jump ahead because I'm actually want to be surprised.
Yeah,
you know, I want to be like, oh snap, that's what happened. You know, I want to have that moment. And that's one thing that is a strength for manga, but a weakness at the same time because like mainstream audience is already going to be spoiled for. And I sometimes just want to have an experience. And that's one thing that used to be an advantage for American comics because usually they're just loose adaptations. They're not following beat for beat. Like, oh, episode 206 of Batman is going to cover the comic series of 1997, whatever, you know. But that's so I don't really like spoiling for cases like that personally.
Now myself, I've actually busted myself on this, unfortunately. So there's a live action on Netflix called Mob Psycho 100, which I had covered in one of my previous live streams. That was based on the manga / anime. So I loved the anime of it as well. And so I wanted to find out where it went. So I did, I'll show you. I did go purchase like,
is it green?
Throw it up. Yeah, green. But I went and purchased the manga for those. And then the same thing with the movie with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, the All You Need Is Kill or Live, Die, Repeat or Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, I was getting there. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I know what movie that is. Yeah.
So I went and purchased the manga for that so that I could read. I could read all that and then buy the supplemental books, but never got into the manga. I was reading it. I said, this is really good stuff, but it wasn't so great that I thought I have to keep going. So I only have the first one that covered basically the half of the first movie. They're going to make another movie maybe someday, hopefully. I'm fine. You know, maybe they'll make a good anime out of it. I don't know, but yeah, manga, I didn't collect it. I don't. Yeah. I have Berserk. I have like the first one of Berserk.
Okay. Yeah. Book. Berserk is. Oof. So that was
right. I haven't read it yet. I bought it because I thought it'd be trendy to have it. It's like, oh look, everybody, I have Berserk, and that's so. I haven't opened it. Haven't looked at it.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the entire arc of Berserk?
Nope.
Oh. Oof.
Nope.
Bro, not at all. That's a tough read. Yeah, that's a tough read you're in for. That's a tough read. And if it was even a tougher show like that. Woof. That show. Yo, that took forever to even come.
I've been meaning to track that down and watch it.
Yeah, like it took forever to come to the States because they had to tone down so much.
See, that's what bothers me. I don't want them toning it down. I want the original.
Yeah, if you watch the original with just the sub, it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah, it's a rough. I wonder how I can get a handle on that. Yeah,
I'm sure you can get it online or something. I'm certain. It's been around for 20 years, so I mean, like you can get your hands on that.
Yeah, I want the original. Yeah,
yeah, the original. Yeah, it's rough. I remember I was watching it.
When you say rough, you just mean like it gets you, like it emotionally grabs you.
Emotionally,
you're not saying it's rough as in bad.
No. It's very good. It's high quality stuff, but it's rough as far as like the content that you're about to suck into your brain.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be an intense experience. I promise you that. But yeah,
I'm dead inside, so I should be okay.
That'll do it. All right, Mike. So, what do you got cooking on the channel coming up this week?
This week, well, tonight I have the Fire Pot, which is I'm going to talk about the Ghost Bride. It's Wednesday, I have the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons stream with a bunch of YouTube creators. They all come on, we hang out and play Dungeons and Dragons. And then Friday, I will do something regarding Rings of Power. Shoot me now. And then Saturday on the Ren Nerds channel, we have the panel for discussing Rings of Power again. Sunday, the round table, which are there. And then back around again. So that's pretty. And then a video maybe pop up here and there. Maybe do some game streams. I did ask my daughter if I could borrow the Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
And I purchased Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or whatever it is.
Okay.
My intention is to hook up with you and Grumpy Vaping Gamer to do that at some point.
Yeah,
so.
we got to do that now because I know Grump. I know he's dropping those things on Mondays. We got to get some time together to just at least get together and just make a video of it. And I think it would be really fun if all three of us make video simultaneously.
Yeah, we all live stream it simultaneously. So you could say, if you want Dre's point of view, go to his channel. If you want Grump's point of view, go to his channel.
Yeah, I think 100%. That would be a really dope, crazy perspective thing that we could do. That would be nuts. I think that would be nuts. Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
So either I have to borrow hers, and she hasn't lent it to me yet. She said I can borrow it though, or I have to go buy one.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy they are to find, but
well, Mike, I gotta thank you. I can't thank you enough, my brother, for taking the time to come and holler at me and share all first of all, your awesome story and all the great stuff that you're working on, your passions. I could not be happier, my friend, coming on and speaking with me on all this cool stuff.
Well, it's my pleasure, Dre. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no.
It's always fun to hang out with you.
Oh, absolutely. And the pleasure is all mine. So, everybody, check out Mike's channel, OBG70. I will leave that in the description section below. Also, do you want me to leave your Twitter down there too, Mike?
Yeah, it's bitten_8.
Cool. I will also leave that in the description section below as well. Holler at Mike. Follow him on his social media. Tell him how great he is, because he is. He's awesome. And who am I? I'm Dre the Brute Daniels. Follow me on all my dope social media platforms as well. At TheBrute00 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Oh, yeah. And if I feel like being silly on TikTok, I'm going to leave it right under my face. It's not there yet, but it will be. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. And check us out on the Renaissance Nerd channel every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Round Table, where we discuss everything that's going on in pop culture, media, and all that other wonderful stuff. All the things that make your head pop. You all have been awesome, and I'll catch you all next time. Also, if you want to support my channel, check out spinwiz.com or download the Spinwiz app and check out my comic series, Trouble. It was written with a lot of love, and it was definitely my favorite comic series to write. I've also written it in English and in Spanish, so whatever floats your boat, I got it for you. Thanks again, and check it out.